Shalom Aleichem. Yesterday we were Baruch Hashem Zoche to begin to gather our limud in Eiruvin. So now we're picking up in the first chapter of Eiruvin at Mishnah Gimel, Hakora She'amru, this crossbeam that they are talking about. Now recall we were talking about a Mavui or Mavui yesterday, an alleyway which has courtyards and houses that open into it, and this alleyway in turn opens into a major street, or Rosh Hashanah, big thoroughfare street, and they would put a side posts on, or a crossbeam atop the entranceway between the street and the Mavui, or they'd build an entire tzurat petach, a whole kind of door frame, a big door frame kind of thing, like an arch, like a whole 9 yards. If it's 9 yards, it might be too wide, according to some opinions. So what about this korah, this crossbeam? A korah she'amru, the crossbeam we're talking about, rachava kedei lekabel ariach. It has to be wide enough to hold an ariach. So what's an ariach? So the Mishnah tells us, the ariach chatzi levena. The ariach is half a brick. However, bricks come in different sizes. It's a levena shel shlosha tefachim. It's a brick that is 3 tefachim long. Now this levena, this brick is 3 tefachim long, but it's 1.5 tefachim wide. This 3 tefachim is actually similar in size to the standard United States bricks, which are 8 inches long and 3 5/8 inches wide. So again, the standard brick is similar to the ancient brick in that it's about twice as long as it was wide, but that's the levena. The ariach is a half levena, so it's actually a square shape, 1.5 tefachim by 1.5 tefachim. And the Mishnah here concludes, daya, it's good enough, like dayenu. Daya is the same word dayenu. Lekora, for this crossbeam, should say rachova tefach. It only needs to be wide enough, 1 tefach, kedei lekabel ariach le'orka, to have the ariach laying across it. Now, the ariach, recall, is 1.5 tefachim by 1.5 tefachim. So here the Bartanura says, yeah, but something that's 1 tefach wide, you can stick an object that's 1.5 tefachim wide on top of it, and there's an etzba, a finger's breadth, across. Recall that a tefach is the width of 4 fingers. So if you have 1.5 tefachim and you stick that on top of a 1 tefach object, you have 1 finger hanging off of each side, and you'll be okay. And the Bartanura explains here that you need it to look like it has a permanent structure and not like a haphazard, someone just happened to stick a 2x4 across the entrance to the Mavui. You want it to look permanent. So you want something that's big enough that they could put a brick on, and then they later on will cement it if they want to build a wall and make it into like mamish, some sort of separation, or tzurat petach. Now Mishnah Dalet adds, rachava kedei lekabel ariach, this korah, the crossbeam, has to be wide enough to hold an ariach, ubria lekabel ariach, and also strong enough to hold an ariach. So it has to have, be able to support the weight of this brick. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, rachava afal pi she'ein bria. It just has to be wide enough, like we said in Mishnah Gimel, even if it's not lamaisa strong enough to support the weight of the brick. Now Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, the Mefarshim say, is that as long as it looks like a wall, it doesn't have to have the full strength and functionality of a wall. We can apply the halachic concept that we've learned in Sukkos, pi tikra yored v'sotem, that the top of a wall, as long as it has certain halachic requirements, we can sort of have an imaginary wall there, and it doesn't have to be physically strong enough to be a wall, as long as it can be viewed as a wall according to Rabbi Yehuda. Shkoyach, be well.